I probably matured past some of the things I wrote about on that album. Like one of the songs called like Shaking Contest, and like I probably wouldn't write about that type of shit today, you know?
Right.
Not that anything was wrong with it. It was a fun song. I actually like the song today, but that was kind of more of just having fun with the hip hop sound.
Hello, everyone. Today we got a very special guest here in Cleveland, Ohio, Vince Nerone. Thanks for joining us today, and how's everything going for you?
Going great. I appreciate you guys coming out. This is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited. So yeah, we got a bunch of good questions here for you. Tell us about living in Cleveland. How long have you been here? What's kind of the story behind that?
I grew up here in Mayfield, which is a little suburb of Cleveland, about 5 minutes down the road. Yeah, I've been here my whole life. It's been pretty great. I actually work construction too, so I've been all around the city from, Elyria all the way to Ashtabula, so I've pretty much seen it all. And it's great, it's nice. I love the lake, going out there in the summertime. It's pretty cool being near the Rock Hall and all the music around here. The scene is a cool plus as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the lake. What else do you kind of do in your free time around here?
Yeah, in the summertime, we go out to the lake a lot. We got a little summer place. We like to go out there, see family, hang out, other hobbies and stuff. I do basketball. I actually tore my left ACL about a year and a half ago playing basketball, and then I just tore it again. I have to have surgery next month. My right one. About to have double ACLs, so that's great. I did jiu-jitsu for a while. I kind of got hurt with that a little bit. Grew up playing basketball, baseball, football. I do a lot of hobbies. Obviously, music's a big hobby, probably the biggest one.
So how was kind of the music scene in Cleveland?
2 years ago, we started the band, so I really didn't know the Cleveland music scene because I wasn't really getting out there and actually playing live shows. I always thought I didn't really have to do a live show around. I was just taking my basement and trying to see if I could blow up on the internet. The 2 years of experience in the Cleveland music scene, I met a lot of cool bands. We did the Cleveland Music Awards. A lot of people there were really cool. The Battle of the Lands was a cool opportunity. And, we just met a ton of different bands that we got to know, and now we can open for them, they're open for us, and kind of share communities. And it's been great. There's a lot of really good, talented people.
Cool. Yeah. What are some of those bands and venues that you've performed at?
Most recently, we opened up for Mookie. He's a good dude, really great voice. Cherry, we've done a few shows with. Recess is looking to do another show with us. We did a showcase with them for the Cleveland Music Awards. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah, those are just to name a few.
So we had to ask about the tattoo sleeve.
Yeah.
How long have you been working on that?
So the first one I was 19 and got this tree. I like it and stuff like that, but it was a 19-year-old decision, and the artist I went to, I don't think he really gave a fuck as much as my new guy. Right. So as much as I like it and, it's part of me and stuff like that, it's not as nice as the other ones I would say, but at the time, it was it stood for growth, and I like nature and trees. There's kind of just an obvious choice, I think.
Right. Yeah.
The rest of them was for my guy, Mikey Lanes over at Ironclad. If you want me to just give you a brief of each one.
Just think of a favorite or something. You have a favorite one?
I kind of like this one, the Chaos and Order one.
Mm.
It's the swords for order, and then your snake and your nature is chaos. It's balance. I'm familiar with Chaos and Order, but it's pretty much just, the chaotic things is the new stuff, learning and putting yourself out there, and it's scary, it's new and stuff like that. And then the order is the management within those things. And I think those are very important things you got to keep. Jumping out and doing a show for the first time, that would be chaos. And then the order of the team, putting it together, is the order. And I think that's a super important part to how I go about things and try and look at things to grow.
Right, yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's probably my favorite one.
Tattoos are addicting. We both have gotten on the train now.
Yeah.
He would have to take a bunch of clothes off, but he's got a bunch of them under there.
Hell yeah. You can take them off.
Please don't do that.
I got a arm sleeve here.
Oh, you got a plane too?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Like a triangle here. And then I have a couple on my legs as well, too.
Yeah, keep the pants on.
I'll keep the pants on.
Kind of looking at your music career, when did you start with that?
Music kind of found me, really. I never really had any aspirations to be a music artist, to be honest, until I was 16 years old. Me and my buddy were driving out actually to the summer spot. He just showed me a rap, and I was like, oh, that's cool, it's fun. So on the way there, I had a lot of time. I just put on a YouTube beat and started writing to it. And yeah, you want to talk about tattoos being addictive. Music was just super addicting to me, and I just did it all the time. Buddies would come over to freestyle, buddies would come over to make music, and I just kept expanding the setup, and people would obviously see that, want to come over and hang out and do stuff. That was pretty much the way it all went. I would just put singles out and then turn into a few albums, and then that kind of built into finding management in the band. It's been about 10 years, long story short.
I wish I was musically gifted, because listening to music is addicting for me too. So I wish I was talented enough to make it. What's kind of your songwriting process?
Before, I guess it would just be, find a beat and whatever mood I'm in that day, I kind of am inclined to a specific beat, start writing on it, and, one thing leads to another, and the song's done. It's line by line kind of thing, you know, and the band and everything. I like to do stuff more in-house rather than relying on YouTube beats. Not that I won't. I still like, you know, every once in a while, scratch an itch. But now the band will come over and we'll start. They're like insane, like with just like being able to play off each other. And like next thing you know, they got a whole ass fucking beat. And then I just kind of sit there and they'll kind of just loop it while they're playing because they're insane. And then I just do the same thing with you, like I would with YouTube beat, you know.
Right.
But it's our thing, you know, and it's cool because that's another reason why I'm learning guitar is with the band and now me being able to allows you to be the producer and the songwriter, and it just allows us, the people I'm here with, and myself to really create the whole thing, and it's us, you know. It's not like a third-party YouTube beat, which is fine, you know, but it's cooler being all us.
Right, yeah, absolutely. It's cool that you're the entire project.
Yeah.
What are some of your music influences?
I grew up on a very wide genre. I mean, you know, Eminem and Drake, Mac Miller, Juice WRLD, and then obviously the other side of the spectrum would be like Van Halen, Green Day, Blink-182, even more like, you know, older rock bands, like the classic hard rock back in the day. But all that type of shit, you know, Judas Priest, Def Leppard, whatever.
Any Escape the Fate, anything like that?
No. But like Avenged Sevenfold, Bullet for My Valentine, that side of things too. Yeah, I mean, I've listened to a lot of stuff, and I've also not listened to a lot of stuff, if that makes sense.
Right, yeah. You listing all those different bands, that kind of makes sense. Both hip-hop and then also rock as well. So what's gone into that transition? Because it seems like you kind of started with more of the rap, hip-hop. The last two albums have been rock. So what's kind of gone into that?
I mean, it's kind of just how it shook out, you know. It was easier to, well, I guess you could find rock beats back in the day, but I guess I was just more into, I guess when I write music, it's always kind of, if you even listen to the albums and stuff, at that era, what I was listening to kind of influenced what was going into the album. You know, I think I definitely have my own way of doing it, and it's not like I'm just copy and pasting influences, but they do just subconsciously or whatever kind of fall into whatever you're writing at the time and the music selection you decide to write to. Yeah, I mean, hip-hop and stuff like that. Like Mac Miller, like when I was 16, was like, my God. I would just be writing a lot of stuff that kind of sounded similar to that, you know, like Kids and I think Good AM's probably my favorite. And then obviously when you get a band, we wanted to do a live show. And I did live shows in the past, but it was like open for somebody else, and it's just the speakers in the background. You're kind of just like your own DJ up there singing along.
Right, yeah.
Which is fine, whatever. I get it, gets people going, you know, whatever it is. We wanted to do something with, you know, the band, or have an actual band and have like a real, I guess real is kind of a strong word, but, you know, more of an organic, real sound, I guess. I was afraid, obviously, at the time to do a show. You know, it was going to be my headlining show. It was going to be, you know, all these people coming just for us, no opener. So it was a lot of pressure, and you know, Jacqueline and Shiv, my managers, they booked the show before we had a band, so if that makes sense. So we kind of had to like, oh shit, there's a show in the month, we need a band. So next thing you know, we're going into band finding mode, and so then you have a band, and I guess band guys love rock shit, you know, and they kind of just, I have a love for that as well, that was just kind of hiding behind all the hip-hop sounds, you know, and it kind of pulls it out of you. But I love both, you know, I like to still stick with some of the other stuff too. Yeah,
absolutely. Like I said, kind of looking at your albums, would you say it's fair the first three were more rap, hip-hop, and then the last two were rock?
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. Well, Some Other Stuff was kind of a hybrid, I would say, but Hurts More was definitely more rock. Yeah. But yeah, the first three were hip-hop.
Grouping those first three together, is there any kind of like overarching message or anything from those three?
Yeah, I mean, growth. I mean, I think if you listen to Genuine Article, it's got a lot of fun stuff on it. I probably matured past some of the things I wrote about on that album, like one of the songs called like Shaking Ass Contest, and like I probably wouldn't write about that type of shit today, you know? Not that anything was wrong with it. It was a fun song. I actually like the song today, but that was kind of more of just having fun with the hip-hop sounds. Morning's Calling had like I think the cover art illustrates the feeling of it in like a weird way to me, maybe just because I'm used to the cover art, but I don't know, it just felt like kind of like a woodsy hip-hop album or something. I don't know, like Morning's Calling, especially the intro track. And then Life I Wrote, it turned into like a cloud hip-hop, kind of new age sound that I really enjoy for myself, that started to tap into more of that melodic, runny style that I kind of have today.
Looking at your second to last album that came out, A Smile Through Suffering, did anything with the message kind of change? You know, just from what I've seen, it seems like you're talking more about like anxiety.
I don't know what happened there. I really don't. I mean, I just like to write about that stuff. You know, I'm not like, I have anxieties and stuff like that. I think I write about the more darker sides of things because it's a release, but at the same time, I think people are more alike. Actually, it's funny. This tattoo is about, I think it's like Franz Kafka. I should know that, but it says, I was ashamed until I realized I was the only one bringing my real face to a costume party. I botched that, by the way. I don't remember the exact quote. But yeah, it's pretty much just saying, like, everyone is out here, like, faking it in such a way, but they're hiding what they really are. And you think everyone else is okay, you're the only one with the problems. But I think when you put those problems out there, you see how relatable they are because people gravitate to them, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And so I think I kind of liked writing about them, too, because I like to see how you're not alone. I feel that way too. It almost shines a light that everyone's kind of like dealing with these things.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Caleb, you know, we've all gone through it, like you said, and we did get that message. So that was good to hear. Now, looking at your last album, Hurts More Thinking About It, and was there a different message with that one, and how's it been with the success of it?
Yeah, I try to have the silver lining. I think with both albums, especially Hurts More Thinking About It, the message itself. I think we overthink our problems into, like, you know, just spirals, you know, and I think if we just kind of like don't worry about ourselves so much and focus on ourselves, and we're always thinking about us and all our problems and all this, and it just spirals. And I think you're hurting more thinking about all these problems, rather if you like start to think outward more, which I struggle with. I'm not saying I do that now. I struggle with that all the fucking time, you know. I think if we start to look more outward and not so much about ourselves, it'll like relieve some of that stress, and you're not so like consumed with like what are people gonna think about me, because you're worried about how you can impact other people, maybe. And that's something I'm trying to do.
Right.
Whether I do well at that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But,
no, we could tell from your music you're doing just that. So
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Even when you're trying to help other people, you know, just talking about that kind of stuff helps a lot too.
Yeah.
You know, that's helped us a lot.
Thank you. I'm really glad to hear that.
Looking at your latest release, Mad Attention, you know, we got some sneak peeks of what you're working on now, but are you kind of going back to hip hop? Rap a little bit? And Mad Attention
No,
seemed a
I'm
little
not
bit
going
more...
back. I'm doing both. I'm not like super intentional with like it's got to be this style or that style. It kind of just happens. A lot of people like Mad Attention. I like the song.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it could be a cool video idea. It's kind of like a throwback to the more not shallower messages, but not so like, you know, deep and dark and whatever. Right. So it was just a fun song, and I thought it would be a good like different change of flavor to what we were doing, and I thought we had a cool music video idea around it. Yeah, that's kind of how that happened. But
yeah, with all of your music videos, you know, on YouTube, it seems like you've got a pretty good handle on that. You got a bunch of them, which is cool to see. What's kind of the future look like? You know, like I said, you were working on something over there. What kind of future look like for you? Yeah,
we're trying to think of a good like singles plan, but also an album at the same time. So we're in the process of exactly figuring that out, because I just want to do it in a way that's just better than ever. You know, that's how I'm kind of always trying to operate as a team. And so what that isn't exactly obvious all the time, I guess. You know, I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. I got a couple songs. I don't know if I should really maybe. There's a song called like Sad Eyes I'm looking to drop as a single, and Arguments of Sunday. Sad Eyes would be like more of a hip hop track. Arguments of Sunday is going to be more of like a rock track. And then I think it's going to kind of waterfall its way into a bigger album. And I really like albums because it's kind of like it's a bigger expression of a whole thing. Even though I don't think I have something in mind particularly when I'm making an album. When I look back on each album, it feels like something was made, just like writing a song. Like, you never really know what's going to come out, and it's kind of the same thing when you put these albums together. They like say something that you weren't expecting. I kind of love that.
Right. Yeah. It's like you're writing stories.
Yeah. So there's definitely more music coming. How exactly that's going to shake out, we're still in the process of figuring it out.
Coming soon, though.
Oh yeah, coming soon. Oh yeah, we're going to get some stuff out here real soon.
Good. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. What would you say is your favorite band of all time, if you had to pick one?
I like Van Halen.
And is your favorite song by them too, or?
Well, my favorite song by them is probably like 5150, I would say. I like Summer Nights too, but that one's more of just like a jam. 5150 is, I guess. I don't know, yeah. So probably 5150. But my favorite song ever, it's hard for me to like,
right.
That's a toughie. You know?
For all of us, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Van Halen 5150, I think is a good pick for me right now.
Yeah, it's a hell of a choice. It's a good choice. On the same kind of note with favorites, do you have a favorite song that you've written?
Oh, man.
Or favorite to perform, maybe? I know they sometimes are different.
Working on Myself's fun to perform. A lot of people get into that one. It's high energy. And it kind of expresses both the rock and rap side of things with the verse, and the hook is kind of more rock. Tired of Trying is always fun just because it's probably our biggest song ever, really. What else do we do that's fun? I don't know.
It seems like Counting Days has probably been doing pretty good, right?
Yeah, Counting Days is a fun one, yeah. They're all fun. They get old and then they get I don't know, like we kind of mix things in, you know, as you do them a million times, they kind of get a little bit like tired of doing them, and then you kind of forget about them, and then you bring them back and you kind of love them again. So it's kind of like, oh, thinking about change is actually a really good one. That might be my favorite actually to perform.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's all we got from you on here. Was there anything in particular you want us to plug in the video? Any socials? Just all of them that we can find?
I mean, yeah, you can find me pretty much everywhere at Vince Nerone. I don't really use like Twitter much, but like Instagram, TikTok are probably the two you'll find me on mostly. And then we have a website. It's vincenerone.com. Am I missing anything, Jacqueline? No?
That's merch.
Manager?
Yeah, we got merch up on the website. Check it out. You can buy it there. We'll ship it right to you, all that good stuff. And yeah, I just really appreciate you guys driving out here and doing this.
Yeah.
This is a sweet opportunity, and you guys taking interest in the music and the journey. It's really cool to see other people impacted by all this time and stuff we're putting in. And hopefully it grows, and hopefully with the help of you guys, it grows. Yeah. So I appreciate it. I hope everything that you guys are trying to do goes really well too.
No, thank you. We appreciate that.
Oh yeah.